So today we're going to be talking all about how do you reverse engineer shapes and objects in Fusion 360. I'm Mr. Pratt and I've been teaching robotics and computer-aided design to students for over 10 years now. So today is a series of challenges. This is the last episode in your basic beginners kind of tutorial series on using Fusion 360. And the whole goal here is to take 3 different shapes that I've designed for you, and you're going to have to recreate these inside Fusion 360. This is probably the most important lesson in the beginner series because it's all about how do you take the designs and how do you make them, practicing using the skills that we've learned in the last couple lessons up to this point. With all of these challenges, you should be able to complete the first 2 in 2 sketches, and the last one you should be able to complete in a single sketch. Let's take a look at the first object here. This is a simple angled bracket with a large slot in the side. You might mount this onto a piece, mount another piece over here, and having a slot so that it can be angled and moved to the side. The drawing with all these specific dimensions for it is right here. If you remember the little R that tells you or denotes a radius, specifically pointing to a section around these. When you break down a shape, you typically want to break it down into an isometric view as well as in a topographic view. So a topographic view is top down, from the side, and from the other side. Or in other words, a y-axis, an x-axis, and a z-axis view. And it doesn't matter which sketch you start with, as long as you're starting with at least one of the faces. So I suggest you pause the video here, take a look at these dimensions, and see if you can recreate this. So let's break down how I went about doing this. Again, there's no correct way of doing this. There's lots of ways of completing the sketch, but this is how I decided to complete it. Let's take a look at object number 2. This might be a hinged bracket for your robot. Here are all of your dimensions. Remember, the R is for radius, the circle across is for a diameter. So go ahead, pause the video here, and see if you can recreate this object. But let's see if we were creating these in the same way. I started with the bottom face, and then I created one side face, mirrored it over, and then added it in the fillets before finally combining the tools. Again, no correct way, but there are different ways of doing this. If you completed this in 3 sketches, I suggest you go back and see if you can create it in just 2 sketches. Now let's take a look at the third object here. It's a simple pulley, hollow in the center, with some extra sections on the outside. Taking a look at the drawing, you've got different diameters as well as different thicknesses of each individual section. Now you can complete this shape in 2 sketches, but you may want to try completing it in a single sketch using the Revolve tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to create this top face, and I'm just going to grab 2 simple rectangles. I'm not going to bother constraining them for now, and I'm going to finish my sketch. Now what the Revolve tool allows you to do is it allows you to grab an outside face or profile, select an axis, and what Fusion will do is it will actually sweep or revolve your whole piece around that section to be able to make some more complex geometries. You can decide to wrap it all the way around for a full 360 degrees. You can do just 3/4. You do whatever. You can have a lot of complex shapes that you can be making inside of this. Like if I were to come back and edit my sketch here, let's add in another rectangle out like so that we can make a key shape. We'll edit our revolve. We'll add in this key shape. And now as we revolve around, we are revolving around a nice letter T. So using this new skill, see if you can recreate that final sketch in a single sketch. So go ahead and pause the video here. So let's see if we created it in the same way. I created one sketch and then I revolved that face around for that last sketch. At this point, you should be able to make your own custom designs for 3D printing, for laser cutting, whatever have you, and actually have a basic understanding of how parametric modeling works and how Fusion works. The next section in this tutorial series will get more into some more in-depth, more advanced tools with using Fusion. So I hope to see you in the next tutorial series, and best of luck on building your own robot.